Okay, hello, darling. We're gonna get a reading in tonight. Go ahead and roll the dice. So it looks like we are on book 3. Alright, so we are at Child of the Moon. Okay. Spirit angels. Pure truth. 67. Page 67. Let's see. Let's get the overall feel for the reading. 67. Moon cycle. Every 29.5 days you started anew, teaching me how to love again. Right, let's see here. I'm actually going to go ahead and pull angel number 67 and tell you what that says as well. And then we will get into the reading. Well done. You're on the right path at home and at work. Okay. Let's see who it is that we are dealing with today. Who are we talking to? Who are we reading for today? Please, angels, spirit, truth, Father God. Who is this reading for? Who needs to hear it? Virgo sun. Whew, okay. Virgo sun. That took 3 seconds. Virgo. Why wasn't I worth some of your time? How else are you feeling, Virgos? What do my Virgos need to hear for their highest good? Okay. I'm sorry I trusted the karmic and for playing hard to get. So your person could have trusted someone else over you, or they could have spent more time focusing on something else other than you. Maybe that's the reason why you feel like your person didn't give you any time. Let's see. Let's pull here. How does this person feel about Virgo that they are not speaking, that they may not even know? How do they feel about Virgo deep down? Every girl, if you leave them alone long enough, will eventually sing and dance. They think that you are getting over them, Virgo. Think you have moved on. The most confused we ever get is when we try to convince our heads of something our hearts knows is a lie. They could be deceiving themselves, trying to pretend like they don't love you, that they didn't feel it, that it was all an illusion. Holy crap, my twin flame candle is like, the flame is huge. Candle's turning black. Alright. What do you feel deep down, Virgos? What do you feel deep down? Not clouded by your head, but what's in your heart, Virgos? What do you need to hear for your highest good? How do you feel about this person? This card is coming out like crazy. Virgo, you may be dealing with the twin flame situation. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya. So, this person made you feel like you weren't worth their time or their love, Virgos. Is that what you're trying to say? They made you feel unworthy of them. What else, Virgos? What do you feel deep down? Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. You're trying to find courage to either move on or to say something, or I'm not sure. And what's under the deck for both of you to know? The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or heard, but must be felt with the heart. Helen Keller. All right. Let's get into the reading now. Virgos. All right. Whoa. Too many cards there. It's over. All right. Angels, Father God, Spirit of Truth, please show me what my Virgos need to know. That's good. Six of Fire, victory, good news, it's on its way, public recognitions or awards. Alright, so you could be currently be getting recognized at work for something that you've done. Being praised for it. You've been doing well. Alright, what is currently going on for me, Virgos, please? Knight of Fire. Passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. Five of Air. An unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Review everyone's motives. Ace of Water. Falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship. Spiritual growth and enhanced intuition. Or a new home. Some of you Virgos may be moving. And Page of Water. Intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. A new person enters your life, or a relationship begins a new phase. Heightened psychic abilities. This is telling you right now you need to pay attention to your intuition, tap into your guides, your spirit guides, your angels, whoever it is that you talk to, whoever you listen to, and make sure that you do not make the wrong choice right now, Virgos. Because right now, I'm telling you right now, all the readings are saying you are about to be tested, Virgos. So make sure you do not make the wrong choice. Okay, for your future, the High Priestess. Listen to your intuition. Have patience. Consider carefully what you want before acting. Us Virgos usually never have a problem with that. We will usually think something over 1,000,000 times. Once we decide what we want, there is no change in our mind. And for advice. Two of Water, a relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness, the positive resolution of a conflict. Okay, so you could be dealing with someone who you had separated from, which could be the reason why you've got to make the right choice and listen to your intuition. But it's saying you will find the forgiveness. If nothing else, you will find the forgiveness in this situation. Hopefully they will too. Hopefully both of you guys are doing your inner work. If you care about your person, you will be. Because until you find that self-love, you can't truly love yourself. You know, you could be entering a new cycle. As it said, every 29.5 days you enter a new cycle. So this could be the new cycle that is in either a new relationship if you've chose to move on, or a new start, a start of a new cycle for a past relationship. Alright, we're not going to focus on the past. Tell me what else Virgos need to know for current energies for their highest good, please. Angels, Spirit of Truth, Father God. Please pull me out of my ego so that I can speak only the words my Virgos need to hear. Six of Michael. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. Breathe a sigh of relief and make new plans. Relocation or travel. Maybe this person lives at a distance from you, Virgos. And for the future. Alright, for the future you got Knight of Ariel. Trustworthy, understanding, devoted, funny. And Queen of Gabriel, passionate, charming, brilliant, and independent. There is so much to accomplish. Make a very detailed plan. You're being watched over by someone kind. So you've got someone watching over you, trying to make sure you're doing all right. You can do anything right now. Go after what you want. The ability to attract helpful people. So this is telling you, go after, Virgo. If you've got something that you want, go after it. And it's telling you not to worry, because you have attracted people that will help you if you screw up. And yes, you can screw up, and yes, you can make the wrong choice. You can make the wrong choice, and you can really hurt someone. I don't care what anyone else says. You can make the wrong choice. You can make the wrong choice and completely destroy someone. And you can end something that was meant to be. That's why they always say the one that got away. Alright, for the advice from Spirit. 10 of Michael. A situation has ended and you are finally free. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. Okay, so some of you may be moving on from this person. Maybe they did mess up so bad that you don't want to deal with them anymore. But I do see that some of you guys are giving. So it looks like we've got two set of people. We've got some Virgos who are giving their person another chance. And then you've got some other Virgos that just don't even want to deal with it anymore, Because sometimes you can hurt someone so bad, or you can ignore them for so long, or you can make them feel so unworthy or not worth their time. As this says, why wasn't I worth some of your time? You know, you can literally make someone feel invisible and unimportant. And if they've dealt with that in their past, that it'll be something that they've got to heal and they've got to work through. But within that, you've got to work through that yourself too. You've got to do the healing just as much as they've got to figure out priorities and get things right. It is a two-sided. I don't care what goes on. There is never only one person who screws up in a situation. All right, let's see here. What do my Virgos need to hear for their highest good, please? Spirit, Father God, angels. Virgos, you are on the right path. Archangel Michael, I call upon you now. Thank you for giving me loud and clear guidance that I can easily understand. Thank you for motivating me and filling me with the courage and confidence to make healthful life changes. All right, Virgos, looks like you're stepping into your power. That's what I like to see. All right, and for my future, please, angels, what do you got? Yep, you are stepping in your power. Have confidence from Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael, please lend me the courage and fortitude. Help me realize that I am one with all that is divine. Wisdom, strength, love, creativity, abundance, and health. Allow me to feel confident and peaceful about myself in all ways. Okay, going forward, it looks like you have done your inner work here, Virgos. You're stepping back into your confidence. If someone has taken away anything from you, it looks like in the future you will have gained this back. So it's telling you not to worry. You are on the right path. You do you. Okay, and for advice, keep your eyes on your targeted intention. You and your loved ones are safe. And decide to be happy now. And the way that you do that is to focus on the positive things. Do not focus on the things that have went wrong. Focus on the things that have went right. Focus on the things that were good in the relationship. Like, let's see. Let's say your person came into your life and they have the same likes as you, and you know, and you are low on your confidence, so you work with this person and you practice with them or whatever, and they help build that little bit of confidence up in you so that you can see or learn something from this person, and from that you can grow into something new. So you've always got to find the positive, find the good that came out of every relationship. I always say, there is always something good that comes out of every single relationship. I don't care how bad it hurts you. I don't care what you go through. There is always something good. If you look hard enough for it, you can find it. And that will be what helps you release everything that you're going through, and that you can fully forgive any of the bad and, you know, make it right. So yeah, like I am actually still friends with a lot of my exes, actually most of them, because I truly believe that just because you are not meant to be with someone does not mean that you are necessarily meant to not be friends, especially if you were friends before you dated. I mean, I still believe in the loyalty and, you know, respecting your partner and everything, but I believe that just because something doesn't work out in a relationship does not mean that you can't be friends. So, especially if you plan to be friends afterwards. And that sometimes will be hard, because when you really and truly love someone, it's hard to see them moving on. But when you really and truly love them, you want to see them happy no matter what, you know, because it's an unconditional love. Just because you are not with them does not mean that you want bad for them. You're still going to want good for them. Okay, let's see here. What is currently going on, romance angels, for my Virgos? Chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. Okay, so whoever you're dealing with, you were attracted to them like a magnet. Just like a magnet. Feel drawn to them or their vibe. In the future, Virgo, wedding. This situation involves marriage. Maybe you have met your person here, Virgos. For the ones who are willing to do the forgiving, because you've still got two separate. You've got some Virgos that are letting their person back in, and you've got some people that are shutting them out. Okay, for your advice, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you are guided to take. And and under the deck, past life relationship. You have known each other before. You could have Libra or Sun in your charts. Not Sun, oh my goodness. Fire. You could have Libra or fire in your chart. You can have wind. Wind is I think that's right. Wind is Libra. And fire. Okay, let's see here. All right. Okay. Virgos. You currently have grief. You could either have lost someone important to you, or you could be sad over this relationship if you're in a separation. Okay, so this is telling you here, for your highest good, it will work in your favor if to get out of this heart, to help heal your heartbreak, is to change your perception. Okay, so the person, if you've lost someone or something that was important to you, as she's crying here, you know, if you change your perception, as in, you know, that person is no longer hurting and they don't have to deal with all the bullshit of this 3D earth right now. You know, they've made it to the 5D. You know that where they're going, you know who holds their tomorrow. So changing your perception on everything will help you heal. And if it is this relationship, try changing your perception. You know, see the story from your person's side, not just from yours. And stop being, I'm going to tell you right now, stop being so critical, okay, Virgos? I know It is so, so, so easy for us Virgos to just go into the, okay, well, I did this wrong and they did that wrong, and I did this wrong and they did that wrong, and, you know, and overthink it over and over and over and over and over again. And maybe you need to change your perception from your head. Stop thinking so much with your head and start feeling with your heart. Okay, Virgos? I know that's like pretty impossible thing to ask any Virgo, but it's worth a try. All right, for the future, what do we got for my Virgos? What do they need to know? Their highest good, please. Father God, Spirit of Truth, angels. What do we have for Virgos? Let's see here. What do we got? A miracle. Hold on, Virgo. Look, this wedding may, if this involves a wedding, this could be a miracle. But I'll tell you right now, Virgos, you're not going to get this miracle or this wedding or this marriage until you find the self-confidence in yourself, okay? Because this is telling you, you can do anything that you want right now. So make that detailed plan and listen to your intuition, and this miracle will be yours as long as you stay focused on the positives. You're probably a workaholic right now. All right, what advice for my Virgos, please, for their highest good? Angels, God, Spirit of Truth. What advice for my Virgos? Okay. Vanity and prayer. Okay, so if you or someone around you is vain, you need to step out of that. And if you are vain, if you are shallow, if you are conceited, if you think you're above everybody else, you need to step down off of that high horse. And the way that you can probably do that is through prayer. Okay? Life is going to give you lemons for you to make this lemonade if you drop this act, this vanity, this ego. You are going to have to die to this ego death. I don't care what anybody says. If they're like, stand in your ego, it's good to have an ego. No, it is not. It is not good to have an ego. It is, you don't, what's the word I'm trying to say? You do two things with ego. You can either stand in your ego, which is what will give you confidence. You need a little bit to give you confidence, but there's two different ways to deal with your ego. One is to stand in it and to be like, I am amazing. And the second way is to humble yourself. Your ego will transform. You have got to transform your ego into I'm perfect, into I can do this. You can have confidence and not be an egotistical asshole. Okay? You can have confidence, which is still a form of ego, but it's transformed into the humble form of it. You do not want to be an asshole who thinks you're better than everybody else, who thinks that you can just play everybody or do whatever you want, or nobody deserves to be around you, or you're whatever, you know. And the way that you die to this ego death is through prayer and isolation here under the deck, which is the form in this card means the hermit mode. It means you go in to look inside self. You you go in, it's kind of like the caterpillar. It goes into its womb so that it can emerge something as beautiful as the butterfly. But when the caterpillar goes in there, it does not go into the womb to think, oh, I'm going to be so beautiful and I am so perfect. Nobody is going to be as good as me. They don't deserve me. They don't need to be around me. They go into that cocoon so that they can transform into what they are meant to be. You know, so, and the butterflies are actually very, very important to society, because most people don't know this, but butterflies are kind of little tiny badasses. They're meat eaters and everything. You know, you think of a butterfly and you think it's just sweet and innocent, but really, you know, it's going to eat a bunch of the insects and stuff. You know, they'll actually eat their own kind, which I'm not saying eat your own kind, but I'm just saying, you know, some things when they transform, they don't transform to be or to think that they are better than they were. They transform because that's who they were supposed to be. That was their purpose. The minute they were made and put on this earth, they were meant to go into that cocoon, to emerge as something else. You know, a butterfly truly does not see how beautiful it is. Only other people around it can see its true beauty. It never gets the ego because it can't see its own wings. It can't see how beautiful it truly is. And that is how we are supposed to be as humans. We are supposed to transform into what God wanted us to be, our true form, our true beauty to those around us. But we are not supposed to bring the vanity and the vainness into it. And I'm not saying think bad about yourself. I'm not saying that at all. Like, it is, you need to have some confidence in yourself, because you are made in His image and you are beautiful, because God is perfect and God does not make mistakes. You are made exactly the way that you are supposed to be. That way you end up with the person that you are supposed to be with. All right, let's see here. Let's pull one from here. And we'll pull prayer cards here. All right. What do my Virgos need to hear from this deck for their highest good? These angels, Spirit of Truth, Father God, and their current energies. We'll see here. Okay. Don't doubt your worth. Clover. That's actually my twin flame symbol, is the clover. Release your guilt. Princess, you can be your own knight. You need to go, yes, you need to go inward and realize that you don't need anybody. That when someone comes into your life, it's not because you need them. The only thing that you truly need is God. No other human being can fill this void that the Creator is supposed to fill for you. They can't fix you either. That's what God's for. Your person or your twin flame or your soulmate, they are there to complement your life. They are a want. They are something that you desire. And God says, if you seek me first, then He will add all things unto you. He will give you the desires of your heart. So if you are looking for something and you can't find it, search for God first. It's kind of like my mom. we have this joke that my mom can find 3 things every day. It's her superpower. If you've lost anything, it doesn't matter what it is. You ask my mom and she can find 3 things. But it was always like my little brother would always ask for, like, Mom, can you find $1 million? And it's always like on the 4th time that he asks something crazy, or my mom just can't find it. So we had always joked around and said, you know, if you can't find something, ask Mom. She can find up to 3 things, but after the 3rd time, you're kind of on your own. So, if you are feeling like this person has to fix everything for you, or they have to find something for you, but they've already found the 3 things and they're on the 4th, and you're realizing that they're not actually perfect, maybe it's time, since the Tower is here, it's time for you to step back in hermit mode and unplug and relax for a spell. But it's telling you here, take a chance on them. You know, you could change your perception here. When you change your perception, you may be inclined to give this person another chance if they have transformed like a butterfly or a fairy. Well, you don't really want fairies to transform. They're not pretty when they transform, but you know, like a butterfly, you may be seeing this in a whole nother level or a whole nother light. And if they do change, and I'm telling you right now, Virgo, if they have not changed, watch out, because you're going to step back in and repeat the cycle. If you have not taken enough time away to where you both have had time to look at what you have done wrong and not point fingers at the other person, pull your ego and your vanity out of it and stop pointing the fingers at the other person and point the fingers back at yourself and be like, this is what I did wrong. Well, Virgos, you really don't have problems with that. You always will go with, this is what I did wrong first. That you're more critical of yourself than you are of others. But make sure that you have had enough time for each of you guys to see the other point of view. And if anyone was, you know, mad or angry, give them time to cool off. And that's sometimes one of my hardest things, is that I'm like, all right, we got a problem. We need to talk about it right now. You know, I don't want to wait till later. If we wait till later, what's going to happen is I'm going to think of a billion other reasons why I shouldn't do this. The best way with me, if you want to fix something right then, before I got time to stew on it and get mad. Because I am actually more forgiving at the beginning than I am later on. If you get me to forgive you, I can forgive you. But if you make me sit there and you make me think about it, it's kind of like, after the argument, you think of all the mean things that you should have said. Well, if you give a Virgo time to sit there and to stew and to, you know, if you take weeks or whatever and you've heard a Virgo and you have not apologized, what you are doing is literally creating a volcano that Virgo is going to find everything wrong, and they are going to stew on that. And that's not every Virgo's, you know, like, a lot of us learn a little bit to stop doing that, and it's kind of hard, but if it's the right person, it's a little bit easier. Okay. For your future energies, universe, we are all just stardusts. Thorns, weave together the crown you deserve. Well, you don't necessarily want a crown of thorns. That sounds pretty awful. I don't know why I just now thought of that. You know, that's what Jesus did for us. Jesus wore the crown of thorns so that we don't have to. Flower, be honest with yourself. Yes, this is my card for saying, oh, beep, beep, beep. What did I do? This is stepping in to your hermit mode and realizing what you did wrong after you stop pointing fingers or putting the blame on someone else. You are being honest with yourself, you know, whether it's in a bad mode or being honest with yourself of, I really did truly love this person and I just was too afraid to admit it. Okay. And expectations. Don't seek anyone's approval. I'll tell you right now, I am that weird anomaly because I care way too much and I care way too little. Honestly, if you want to know if I care about you, all you got to do is see if I care about what you think. If it hurts me whenever you get mad or whenever I do something wrong, or if you have the ability to make me cry, then that's how you know. It's just kind of like every single female. If you guys have fights, if she cries and then tries to fix it, that's how you know she cares. When you go to fight with a female, and every relationship you're going to fight, I don't care if I don't even care if you were dating Jesus Christ himself. You would still be a different person. So you're still going to have disagreements or not completely agree with something. And so you're going to have that. But when the person stops caring or it doesn't bother them if you fight them or if they just don't even try to put the work in anymore, then that's how you know that someone does not love you, in my point of view. If someone is not trying, if they just give up and walk away, they do not truly love you. You know, because in my mind, if you truly love someone, you will make it work. I don't care if you got to step back for a little while, as long as you're making it known you're just stepping back for a while. But you don't ever leave your person fully. And if you're a twin flame, that's not even possible. And that's only if you are on the twin flame journey. If you are on the twin flame journey, you are one soul. You're one soul, and separation is actually just an illusion at this point, because you will always be. You can still connect in the 5D, even if you are not connecting in the 3D. Okay, so this is telling you something lovely will grow from this. But I need you to understand, Virgos, and people dealing with the Virgos, something lovely will grow from this, but that's if you take the time to nurture it. I think that was in my Twin Flames reading, the first time I did a reading for him, and it said something beautiful will grow from this, but only if you take the time to nurture it. Like, that was the advice. If you take the time to nurture it, it will grow and it will bloom into something beautiful. It's kind of like, okay, there was a study done. Oh my gosh, I can't, for some reason his name right now is like escaping me, but it was a water rice study done, and they put water and rice in a bowl, and they set it in the same environment, and the only thing that they changed was the person, kind of like the plant theory. The rice, that one bowl of rice came in and talked really nice to rice and water, and then one bowl of rice and water, it was ignored, and then the third bowl of rice, the person came in and they talked very negatively to it. Okay, so at the end of the study, they checked the water and they checked the rice itself, and the rice that the person came in and spoke positively to, the rice looked healthy, it looked perfect, it looked like it had fermented the way that it was supposed to, and it looked like a perfectly healthy thing of rice. And water. Oh yeah, and the water itself actually turned into, like, when they looked at it under a microscope, the water was actually like beautiful snowflake forms looking. Now the rice that was left alone and ignored, it actually started to go bad, because it had sat there and it had been ignored, so the water itself actually kind of just looked like slime, like blah. It wasn't a very pretty sight. Kind of like with us, if we care about someone, we don't want to be ignored, because that does something to who we are in the inside. It doesn't make us very happy. We're not going to turn out the same way the water and the rice did that was spoke nice to and paid attention to. It's going to trigger something in us. Our vibes are going to be different, and we're going to put off something different into the world. And the person had came in and talked negatively to it. The rice had actually turned so bad, it started molding, and the water, when they studied it under a microscope, it looked horrible. It looked awful, and it was black and everything like that. And here's the thing. They studied the rice and how the rice appeared, but they also studied the water, and the difference of the water was what the difference was, because when we send off our vibes to the water, that's what changes the energy in the water, the frequency of it. So it appears different, it changes different. When we talk positively into something, it sends that vibe into that water, and it transforms it into something beautiful. When we ignore this water, it transforms it into something that is not pretty. It doesn't give it that positive vibes. It doesn't help it. It doesn't help it bloom. It doesn't heal it. And then the water that we talked negatively to, we did not do this person, this water any good. We actually ruined this water by our words, by our vibes. And that's kind of like why God sent, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, why God sent the twin flames to come to the earth, to come to union, so that they can heal their selves through the triggering of our twin flames, so that we are forced to go inside ourselves and heal what's in the inside, so that we can find self-love, so that we can talk positively to ourselves, and that will heal ourselves, and it will heal those around us. Because the biggest thing that hit me from this study is that we are humans. And as humans, we are almost 70% water. We are that bowl of rice. When someone talks positively to us, when they send us good vibes, we become the best version of ourselves. When someone comes in that's supposed to love us and they ignore us, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to do something to the inside of us. We're going to start to mold. We're going to start to turn bad. We're not going to be beautiful and bloom like the bowl of rice and the water that flourished and was beautiful. And if someone comes in, they talk negatively to us, it builds that mold. It builds that anger inside of us. It builds that rage and all this ugly stuff. So when you have someone in your life that you care about, you've got to heal yourself first. Because by healing yourself first and all of the awful that you have went through in this life, you then have the ability to vibe off into someone else and help them heal just by being able to wish good upon them, and when we have went through something that has been so horrible and we have healed from it, that means that we will have the best advice to give those that are about to step into this situation after us. We will have the ability to become the teachers for those who have not yet learned this path and this journey, because it is hard. It is very, very hard. And baby twin flames are like children. They don't know that until they are awakened fully. They don't know that this is a different journey. They don't know that this is a different path unless there is someone there before them to guide them, to show them that any triggering that is done, if it was done by anyone else, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But when it is triggered by your twin flame, it is because it is a sign that you are supposed to go inside yourself to heal you. Now, and to also learn, the difference between this is my twin flame and they're triggering this in me, and this is a karmic, like a passionate karmic who was meant to come into my life, and it was going to be hard to leave them because there was so much passion and so much whatever that we did not want to leave them, but they were so toxic for us that we couldn't even face ourselves. And that's going to be the difference. Your twin flame is never going to be completely toxic to purposely rip you down from who you are and what you've become. And that's one of the things that we have to figure out. We've got to step in and look at their perspective and make sure that what they're saying to us or what they're bringing to us is something that we need to learn, or it's just someone being an asshole. Okay? So, anyways, but that was the one thing that was in mine and my twin flames reading at the beginning, is that you've got to take time to nurture it. And if you take time to nurture it, and as long as you don't take it for granted, if you don't ignore it, and you treat it like you're supposed to, it will bloom into something beautiful. But if you don't, if you ignore it, if you treat it badly, it's going to turn into something negative. It's going to turn into arguments. It's going to turn into anger. You guys could have fights. But if you take, and that's only if you take something for granted, if you love something fully and you give it your time and your attention, it's kind of like the saying, have you ever seen a woman screaming at a man doing the dishes? No. That's like a very, very rare thing that would happen, you know, because a lot of times women appreciate when a man is putting in the effort, because nowadays it's so hard to find. Guys just want their cake and to eat it too. They want to play games. They want to do what they want to do. And that goes for women too. Don't get me wrong. That goes for a lot of women. I know a lot of toxic women. A lot. I try to help them sometimes to see their good and their bad. Okay, for advice. Endings are inevitable. And here's the thing. Okay. If you had a bad cycle with someone, that does not necessarily mean it is going to go on forever. A lot of times something will die so something beautiful can be reborn. Now, the ending of this pain that you're going through, Virgos, it is inevitable because it cannot rain forever. Eventually, the clouds dry up and the skies turn back blue. Rain does not last forever. Pain does not last forever. You know, what we're going through will eventually start to go away once we do this healing. Once all this changes, that cycle will end and you will have the choice between two options: to either step back in with this person or to start a new cycle somewhere else. I always suggest never, if you have feelings for someone else, if you are still in love with someone else that you wanted to be with, never try to make that decision in between two people, okay? Because that is not fair. If you have two people on the line that you're trying to figure out if you even still care for one person while you're getting to know someone else to get closer to them, to date them, you are 100% guaranteed to hurt one of the two people. So do not play games with other people's hearts, because hearts were not meant to be played with. They're meant to be cherished. Okay, so until you know what you want, whether you want to, out of your two options, whether you want to go with your person and stay with your person and be loyal and faithful and stick through it until the healing is done and all this other kind of stuff, or you make the choice to move on, to find your happiness with someone else, then you need to stay in that hermit mode. You need to find out who you are. Until you do your actual full healing, you will not know who you are. So you will not truly know what it is that you want in this life. But once you do your healing, that is when you will see what you truly want, what your heart truly desires. Because it'll be at that point you know who you are, and you won't judge this person based upon past actions done by other people. You will judge them by the person that is standing right in front of you, based upon their actions at that moment in the now, not something that they've done in the past, but what is in the now. And here's the thing. This is one of the things that I tried so hard with all of my exes. When a conflict comes up, bring it to your person. And here is where I feel that most fights go wrong. Most people when they bring up a situation that is not okay with one or the other, they instantly go in to fight each other. So they're fighting this, he's fighting her, she's fighting him, or, you know, if you're in the same-sex relationship, she and she or he and he, it doesn't matter, whatever your theory is, but one person is battling the other person. But here is how I truly feel it should be. When you have a problem, you need to hold space so your person can come to you, and your person needs to hold space so that you can come to them and feel safe telling them, I'm not okay with this. You got to, if you don't do that, they're never going to come to you and talk to you or tell you how they feel, because they will never trust you enough to care about what they're going through and what they need and what they desire. They won't even open up to you, and you will never fully feel the full love from them because they never got to be who they were. So hold space for each other to be able to come and to bring their concerns or their dislikes or their whatever, you know, to bring the compromise, you know. And then you both look at the situation that you have in front of you, and instead of fighting your partner, fight the problem together. That, to me, when I find that, when or if my twin flame comes back, and I know I'm supposed to talk in the wind, but right now I'm giving him space to figure himself out and for him to decide for his free will. But if my twin flame comes back and he changes, that will be something that he does that. That's how I will know. I need someone who will be okay with me not being okay with certain things. And I need someone to trust me enough that they can come to me and be like, I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with that. And then fight the problem, you know, because a lot of times when someone comes with something, it's not really the problem itself that is the problem. It's the root below the problem. It's what's underneath. Like, okay, an example, jealousy. If someone comes to you and they're like, I'm jealous of this person, it's not really the jealousy that's the problem. Because jealousy is just a topical cream that you put on like your pimples or whatever. Or the pimples that came to the surface. And if you just work on the pimple right then, you know, you still got this problem down below. I don't even know what I'm talking about pimples right now. It's pretty gross. But your root, the root of the problem is, it can be many things. And that's what you've got to figure out. Is it that person's insecurities? Or is it your actions or their actions, you know, that is triggering the jealousy? Because you can wipe off every single pimple that you got on your face, but if your body is not healthy down below, they're just going to keep coming back. They're going to keep coming and keep coming and keep coming, and you're never going to be happy because you're always going to be fighting that the topical problem when you needed to get to the root. You needed to search and go deep down. And I feel like a true partner will save space for you so that you can both come to each other and say, you know, this is not okay. I have a problem with this. And then you guys sit down and you figure out what the underlying reason, and then you guys work together to figure it out. I do not like to fight. I'm going to tell you, because as I said before, I either don't give a shit what you think if I don't love you, but if I care about you, then it's going to bother me. And it is 1,000 times worse with my person. With my person, if I am in a relationship with someone and we fight each other instead of fighting the problem, I'm going to tell you, all I'm going to do is cry. And it's been I have been trying to work on this. Because before I got to a point where I didn't cry because I didn't care about shit. I didn't care about what anybody else thought because I had been hurt so bad. But when I became vulnerable, when I become vulnerable and I let someone in, when I start to care about them, if we are fighting, like actually fighting, and we're not talking about the situation to make it better, then I cry. I cry a lot. And I hate it. And my exes will tell you they hate when I cried too. That was like their kryptonite. It didn't matter. They actually wanted me to yell at them instead of crying. They would have rather me like throwing stuff or screamed or punched them or, but when you trigger my emotions, when I feel like the person that I truly care about is hurt because of something that I've done, or they have hurt me and they don't care about it because they are not taking the time to talk about it and actually fix the problem and then make the change so the problem doesn't come back, I feel like they don't care. So you have got to get to a point with, I feel like you've got to get to a point with your person where you have the ability to come to a safe space where you're not walking on eggshells when you need to tell your person your fears or your insecurities or this or that. And if your person comes to you, or if you go to your person, say if you go to your person and you tell them, I'm not okay with this hurts me. And they apologize, and then they do the same thing the next day, and you're like, this is not okay, this hurts me, can we do something, can we fix it? And you make a plan, and then the next day comes again and again and again, and that person keeps doing that same thing that you have told them that hurts you, and they keep doing it. In my mind, that lets me know that person does not give two shits about me, because they knew that what their actions were doing was going to cause me pain, and they purposely kept doing it time and time and time and time again. That is not a definition of true love. That is maybe a definition of lust, or just being with someone because you have to be, or being stuck with someone that you don't want to be with. When you truly love someone, when you have opened up to be vulnerable to be with someone, when you hurt them, whenever they hurt you, you will purposely try to not have that person crying again. It will be important to you that you do not hurt that person, especially if they are your person, the person that you are meant to be with. And I know there's a difference when you trigger your twin flame, but there's also a difference of you still need to be conscious of what you are doing yourself and call your own self out on your own bullshit. Okay. But Spirit is telling you endings are inevitable. So at the end of this, in any death, there is always a rebirth. That caterpillar will always die into who they were to become who they were meant to be. And Virgo, this is telling you, you got to get ready, because you're about to be tested, and you have got to figure out what it is that you want, because you need to know so that when these trials and these things come before you, that you know what you want, so you know what you are stepping into. All right. Well, Virgos, I think that's all I've got for you. I will pull the prayer cards for the kids, which I actually did not get on my last thing, so I'd planned on doing it on this one. We will pull that, and I will let you go and stop taking up all your day, because I'm sure you've got other things to do. All right. There's for our daughters and for our sons. And I always like to end on the sons, because I like to end praying for my boys. Okay, for our daughters, the truth of God. Lord God, I pray that my daughter would live in your truth. Renew her mind by your perfect word. Fill her mouth with honest words that glorify you. Keep her heart free from deception and secrecy. Give her integrity to keep her promises and admit her mistakes. Protect her from the confusion of false teaching. Let her love you more and more as she finds you, always faithful and true. Amen. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Let me say that again. But rejoices with the truth. 1 Corinthians 13:6. And for prayers for our sons, our relationship. Lord God, busy schedules, different personalities, and selfish desires can fracture my relationship with my son. Keep us humble so we can admit our mistakes. And there's that humble part that we talked about earlier. Help us to forgive when we let each other down. Teach us to speak and act out of love instead of out of our emotions. Make us like-minded by your Spirit, each looking to care for the other and to obey you in everything. Bind us together in love and peace. Amen. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. Ephesians 4:2-3. Yes, so Virgos, yes, go for that peace. Find that peace in the Spirit, because you don't want to talk bad to your sons. You don't want to ignore your sons. You don't want any of the bad stuff, because just like our relationship with our partner, you ignore them or you treat them bad, that water that's inside of them, because they're 70%, it's going to turn black, or it's going to turn ugly, and it's not, or toxic. If you did bad to someone for so long, you can actually turn them toxic. You can make, just like that bowl of rice, unedible, toxic, very dangerous, but in a human it turns out as very hurt, very angry, all the bad qualities that come out, because we are just like that bowl of rice. When you got your person, don't take them for granted. Because if you take them for granted and you do bad to them, they will end up like that water that's in the rice. You want to make sure that you nurture it. so that you grow something beautiful, so that you can appreciate it for the rest of your life, especially if it's going to be a marriage. Because then if I ever get married again, that's it. I was married one time before and it ended. We were together for 10 or 11 years and it ended. And I have said since then, and that was 2009, and I've said since then, if I ever walk down the aisle and I give my whole heart, if I pledge my love and I pledge my loyalty to someone, that's it. That'll be my last time. If my next time ends, the only person I'm pledging my loyalty to after that will be God. Because my next time I'm going to make sure it's right, because I want to get it right next time. I don't want to, well, I'm a Virgo, so I don't want to fail. If I'm going to do something, I want to do it right. And even though we mess up, all Virgos at the heart of us, we want to do right. Because Virgos are extra loving. Because it takes a lot for us to love. We are just like the spirit of the horse. You know, we may take some time to trust you, but when we trust you fully, and we would do anything for you. We will work our asses off to make sure that you have what you need and what makes you happy. And that's like the Virgo trait. You know, we may take a while to open up to you, to fully trust you, and you may have to earn that trust. But once we do, you will have our loyalty, you will have our faithfulness, you will have our devotion and our hard work. All right, Virgos, I feel like the word that you were meant to hear came out, if not like 1,000% more than what you actually needed to hear. But I'm going to go now, and I really hope this helped. So Virgos, any of you that are going to step into this with someone who is going to put in the effort and make sure it's equally yoked, Spirit is telling you to, to trust, put a little bit of trust in them, to have a little bit of faith in them, even if they've hurt you, and something good can grow from it. Because even flowers can bloom up through the concrete as long as it has all the nutrients that it needs. So even in the hard spots, something beautiful can come from it. So look for that beautiful speck in what you have now. And for those that are moving on, the will of God won't lead you where the grace of God can't protect you. You may get hurt, but God is always there to be with you, to help protect you, to guide you. So make sure you're listening to your intuition, listening to your spirit and your guides, your angels, the spirit of truth, whoever it is that you call it. But God is always there. God is and will always be. All right, Virgos, I hope you have a great one, and I wish you the best. Sending all my love. Bye.